So let's try this. I am going to continue on the series of brain-based parenting, and I've been trying to figure out what it is that people want, what you need, and I realized that there's so many things, so many places that I could go to, but brain-based parenting is going to be it, because I realized that people out there are struggling. Parents are struggling. Good parents are struggling. Those that have, a good idea on what they're doing, but yet it doesn't seem to be working, or it doesn't seem to be going right. So I'm going to continue on that. And I started off with the 4 S's: safe, secure, seen, and soothe. So I'm going to have a little So I'm going to, I'm not going to fix this. I'm just going to carry on. Little. So let's look at safe. What does that mean? Felt safety. That means being able to disarm your child's fear response. You've been taught to threaten your child, and most of my parenting has been threatening. I've been threatening my child. If you don't do this, then this is going to happen. And if you don't do that, then this is going to happen. And you better do that, because if you don't, this will happen. So it's like a threat. And I'm saying to the brain, you need to go into survival mode, because you're under attack. And that's all the brain sees, that it's under attack. And I've seen that in the short term, it works for me, but it doesn't work for my child. And so I have to take many deep breaths, many deep breaths. I need to regulate, and I need to teach her how to regulate, so that we can have a symbiosis, we can have a connection where I'm talking to her brain. Because if I'm talking to her emotional situation, like that little amygdala, that little almond in the middle of her head, then emotionally it's responding to me, but it's really sending a signal to the brain saying, danger, somebody help me, I'm not safe right now because I'm not getting what I need. And so I need to speak to her brain. And the quickest way that you can help a child to feel safe is by giving them eye contact, like serious eye contact that conveys a feeling of warmth, not eye contact like the mother stare or the father stare, or because I told you so, or the big eyes. What we need to see, what your child needs to see, is connection. So the eye causes the brain to fire off a mirror neuron, and that creates a feeling of safety, because there's a reflection that goes from their brain to your brain, and it makes them feel safe. And so then you can bring in some calming stuff, but it's not easy. It's really tough. But I want to work on that intentional parenting, because if you spend even just 5 minutes with your child doing this, then you are going to create a safer connection, a closer connection, and it's quick, rather than making them, like, just telling them that they're safe. You can make them feel safe really quickly, provided that kind of environment. That then leads on to feeling secure. They feel secure because they know that you've got their brain, like you are the regulator, you're the one that's going to help them. And yeah, that's it. The next thing is feeling secure. How do you make a child feel secure? Feeling secure, it depends on the attachment. You have to look at your attachment style. Like, what did you grow up with? What was it that you were told as a child? What kind of attachment did you have, or do you have now? How do you create your relationships now? Are they anxious attachments, avoidant attachments? Are they disorganized attachments? Or are they secure attachments? Or are they dismissive attachments, where if you're anxious, you're very concerned about what people think about you, and you seek approval, and your brain panics if you're asked to do something and you need to get it done quickly, because the brain's like, I gotta complete this task. Where, sometimes when children eat really fast, or they want to do things really fast, or they're rushing and their work is really messy because they're anxious. They're anxious to get it done, so the brain is like, finish this. Doesn't matter if it's wrong. They don't slow down enough to see that what they're doing is creating an anxiety in their brain. Then there is avoidant and dismissive avoidant, and that's where you could have a relationship with someone, friend, professional, personal, and you could spend a lot of time with them, but let's say it suddenly cuts for some reason, and you have no connection, like there's no like aftermath. You're fine with like saying like, see ya, bye, gone. And so that's like what we call dismissive attachment. And I used to have that. I used to be like anxious and dismissive and avoidant, pretty much a lot of them, because my brain was based on that approval, seeking approval. It was also protecting itself. So the dismissive aspect came into it. And then there was the avoidance, where I would not confront the anxiety or the fear in order to bring that calming and soothing to what my brain needed. And then there's disorganized attachment, where a child is so disorganized in their brain that they are running to and fro from task to task, or their play is all over the place and they cannot stay focused and follow through on their thought patterns because they're so confused in their brain. And so that sum just a little bit of looking at how our brains attach, and it's where it comes from, because the brain then signals the thoughts, and then the thoughts signal the behavior. And so if you understand your attachment style, then you'll also be able to help your child and their attachment style. And then overarching is seeking the Holy Spirit, so that you can connect all domains of the emotions, your will, your soul, your intellect, and be able to create a sense of peace and calm inside of you and inside your child.